Arsenal fans, the pressure is on. Manchester City have just demolished Brentford 3-0 to close the gap at the top of the Premier League to 3 points. It will be a huge win for Arsenal if we are able to beat West Ham on Sunday, May 10th, on Mother's Day. So this is a crucial weekend in the title race, and as you all know, we are about to enter the final 3 games of the season, and this is going to be huge psychological pressure because we understand that each and every game now is like a cup final. So I want us to look into the preview of the West Ham versus Arsenal game at the London Stadium. So if you look first at the remaining fixtures, both of us have played 35 games each. So we both have 3 games remaining. So if you look at Arsenal, we face West Ham away at the London Stadium, looking to extend that gap to 5 points, although Manchester City will have a game in hand. So that game in hand, Manchester City will be playing on the 13th of May on Wednesday versus Crystal Palace at home. Then Manchester City will be playing in the FA Cup final, meaning that weekend where they face Chelsea on May 16th, they will not be playing in the Premier League, but Arsenal will be playing in the Premier League versus Burnley at home. So this is going to be a crucial week, the last few weeks of the title race. And then that game in hand for City, they will be playing versus Bournemouth away on Tuesday 19th May. That is after we play versus Burnley. So it's going to be an interesting week, few last weeks of the campaign. And if you look at the importance of this game, if you look at why West Ham versus Arsenal is a huge game for both teams. West Ham are fighting relegation versus Tottenham Hotspur, Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace and Leeds United. So the last 3 games of the season, West Ham have to win in order to have a chance of surviving in the Premier League. And that is why you can see this is a huge game. But in terms of Arsenal, we are in the title race with Manchester City, looking to win our first Premier League in 22 years. And that is not a small feat, that is not a joke. Yeah. So if Arsenal win the remaining 3 games, versus West Ham away, Burnley at home, Crystal Palace away, there is nothing that City can do. It will be mathematically over, and Arsenal will win the Premier League by 2 points. That is if City win all their remaining games. So the Premier League title is in Arsenal's hand for the last 3 games. And this, they will be confident by the fact that they are now in the Champions League final after beating Atletico Madrid on Tuesday night in what is one of the best nights at the Emirates. So for me, I believe that confidence going into the West Ham game will be crucial. The players are now up for it. Champions League is aside until the 30th of May. Now the full focus is on the Premier League. And if you look at the teams that we are facing, all of them are bottom 15 teams. Yeah, Crystal Palace are 15th, Burnley are 19th, and relegated, and West Ham are 18th at the moment. So it's going to be a tricky period, and most fans are saying that West Ham is going to be our trickiest fixture. But we do have belief because we have the likes of Bukayo Saka in form who are back. We have the likes of Eze performing. Gyökeres is now starting to show his class. Miles Lewis-Kelly playing in midfield now is starting to come of age. Yeah, he's even benching Zubimendi. So it's going to be an interesting game tomorrow at the London Stadium. And in terms of the title race, as you can see, just show you the standings at the moment. So at the moment, these are the standings. You can see Manchester City have just demolished Brentford 3-0. And the remaining games for Manchester City are tough. This was one game which I thought they would win. The one I didn't think they would win was I thought they would win versus Everton, but they dropped points versus Everton. But I thought they would beat Brentford. So that is something that we all expected, for them to beat Brentford at home. And if you look at the table now, we are 2 points clear with the same games played. I'm even wishing the league would end today so that we can be crowned champions. So meaning Manchester City are not giving up in this race until the final day. So Arsenal, we have to respond. And going to the London Stadium is not going to be easy. We are going to be facing a team that are fighting for their lives. Yeah? And us also, we are looking to fight to end the 22 years of heartbreak and pain that we have been caused by us not winning the Premier League since we went unbeaten in 2004. And then we lost the Champions League final in 2006 versus Barcelona. So you can see it's like the glory days are just in the rear view mirror. Yeah, in the side mirror, you can see the glory days they're starting to come back. But with Manchester City on our back, with PSG waiting for us in the final, it can go either way. Yeah, so we might go from the double to nothing, and then questions will now be starting asked, hey, why did they lose the league? Yeah, why did they not beat PSG and win their first Champions League in our history, 140 years? Yeah, so we are in 2026 and the Arsenal formed in 1886. Yeah, so we are going to have to fight tooth and nail tomorrow in order to take all 3 points. For now, all that matters is 3 points. No dropping. If we don't drop points and get 9 points in the remaining fixtures, we're going to finish with 85 points. Manchester City, the highest possible points they can get is 83 points. Yeah? So we need to ensure that we beat this West Ham team and ensure that the last game versus Crystal Palace away is not going to be, we should be champions by then, depending on whether Manchester City drop points. So Arteta has full belief in the players and the energy is there, the confidence is there. Getting to a Champions League final, it will bring some sort of energy, supernatural energy, and the boys will be up for it, knowing that now it's destiny, 4 games away from immortality. And also Nuno Espirito Santos, he is also confident that the West Ham fans will make it tough, will make it a proper derby. And since it's a proper derby, it's going to be scrappy, it's going to be hard. And regarding the team news, Julian Timber and Mikel Merino are the only 2 Arsenal players that are out of this game, out of this fixture. So Martin Odegaard and Kai Havertz returned the squad. So we only have 2 players out. And with their squad, it is very, very strong. We have a very, very strong team. So I believe that we have more than enough to beat West Ham tomorrow. And that is no disrespect to West Ham, but a sign of full confidence that we can beat West Ham. So for me, the man to watch is Jarrod Bowen, a hammer by blood, and I believe it's going to be a problem tomorrow. We need to keep Jarrod Bowen tonight. Very good on the ball, set pieces, can score, can cross the ball well, can assist. So Bowen, the captain of West Ham, we need to keep a close eye on him. And for us, we need to look at Gabriel Magalhaes. Gabriel Magalhaes is one of our finest centre backs, together with Saliba. Yeah, so him being on form in the corners and set pieces, we'll need these set pieces tomorrow. And tomorrow we don't care how we score, as long as we come out of London Stadium with 3 points. So you can see Manchester City have put the pressure on us. Now we must respond. Last week it was us who put the pressure on Manchester City by going 6 points clear. Then they went and fumbled versus Everton. But today they have responded by winning versus Brentford. So the points are 2. So they dropped 2 points after we put pressure on them. So let's see how Arsenal will respond tomorrow after City put pressure on us. And most people are asking, which lineup will Arteta go with? Because now it looks like Arteta has found the lineup which is going to actually defeat all the teams that are remaining in the Premier League. Yeah, and if you look at all our remaining fixtures, we have only 4 games, but these are 4 games which can decide history for Arsenal, and we can either come out of it as the best team in the world, or you can come out of it as the biggest bottlers in our generation. So you can see West Ham, Burnley, Palace, and PSG. That is one of the most crucial part. These 4 games are 4 finals, and Arsenal players, I believe, they are going to ensure that they deliver this time round, because 22 years without a Premier League, unacceptable. Arsenal, biggest club without a Champions League, unacceptable. Yeah. So regarding the lineups, I believe that Arteta will go with the same lineup. Okay. This is the lineup that played versus Manchester City. Nkapie, Gabriel, Saliba, White, Raya, Odegaard, Zubimendi, Rice, Eze, Gyökeres, and Saka. So for me, I believe we should go with the same lineup that beat Atletico Madrid. Why? Because there is the momentum building. There is the confidence in those players starting. There is some fluidity. If it starts changing up things now, I don't think we are going to win, because that squad is playing with a freedom, is playing with attacking purpose, especially Miles Lewis Kelly in midfield. That is something that I want to see for the rest of the season. Yeah, because it is something that has worked and has proven to work. So tomorrow I expect that Arteta will go with the same lineup. If he can make changes, maybe at least 1 or 2 due to fatigue and injuries and what have you. But for me, I believe that we are capable of winning this game versus West Ham. So my prediction for this game, I'm going to go with a 2-1 win to Arsenal. It's going to be a tight win. It's going to be nervy. It's going to be heart-wrenching, because now Arsenal are going into this game thinking, if we draw points, Manchester City are back in this with 3 games to go. But if Arsenal win this game, now the title is fully in Arsenal's hand. No matter what City do, if the gap will remain 2 points up to the end of the season. So this is the Arsenal Pulse. Like, share, subscribe. If you are new, we're watching the West Ham versus Arsenal game live. Yeah, as we look to ensure to get the team over the line. So now is the time. We need the fans, we need the players, and we need the manager to be united for one goal. That goal is to win the Premier League. Then we can focus on the Champions League later. For me, it will be a bonus. My only target is to win the Premier League after 22 years. And I am believing this team that we can do it. 3 games only from destiny. We need to destroy West Ham. Yeah. So see in the next one.